You're listening to The Megan Werner Show on brandlive.co.za. To book Megan, go to www.meganwerner.co.za now.
Good morning and welcome to the Megan Werner Show. So today we've got Ntando in studio. Welcome, Ntando.
Welcome.
So today we are talking about a really interesting project. Now you might have heard about it because we've been on a lot of radio shows about this, a lot of radio exposure. And today's topic is about our Cape to Cairo project. So when I was in Vegas, I did a tower jump and it's called the Stratosphere. And it's basically like a bungee jump almost down a tower, which is about 108 stories high. So it's 855 feet. So it's really, really high. And after that, I was like, what is the next adventurous thing I can do while inspiring the whole world? And since I was 15, I started learning to fly. So I started doing my PPL, which is my private pilot's license. And then, I've just grown a real passion for aviation. And then I thought about, how about building a plane? Yes, one that can fly. And then we build the plane with a group of 20 teenagers. And then we fly the plane right through Africa. So from Cape Town, right through Africa to Cairo. And then I got Ntando aboard this project. And I'm sure at the beginning you thought this is crazy.
Well, just like any normal person would, I thought it was a bit crazy because, we're talking about two 16-year-olds building a plane with 20 other teenagers and taking this plane and flying it across the continent and coming back alive. So, when I first heard about it, I was a bit skeptical, but then, I always thought about the things that I had done in my life, including my book, and how people used to say, there's no ways you're going to write a book. What you even going to talk about and stuff like that. And it came to be. So as soon as she approached me with the thing, I said, you know what, let me go for it.
So who's our guest in studio today? So first of all, today it's going to be a little bit other way around. So usually we interview our guests, but today we've got one of our sponsors in DTM, and they also an aviation company. And so welcome, Des Werner.
Thank you. It's a pleasure being on your show.
Yes. So today, I understand you've got a few questions that you want to tell us. Ask us.
Well, I got 1, 2, 20, 30. How many do you want?
Maybe ones that can last till the end of the show, not over that.
Okay, well, we'll just stretch them out.
So about 3.
All right. Cool. Okay, so from a school perspective, you guys are going out to schools and you've been promoting this idea to schools and everything else. What feedback are you getting?
Well, from my school, at least, we got positive feedback from some of the students. Some of the students are very excited to join the journey and be part of the team that might end up, building the plane at the end of the day. So I got a few responses from a few students who are really passionate about this, and some of them are also passionate about aviation. I actually got one from someone who wanted to be a pilot later on in her life. So it's a great experience. Some people are a bit skeptical. They're like, there's no ways you're gonna do this. How are you gonna come back alive? We're gonna lose a friend or something like that. Just like that. But then I think for them, it's all about learning that anything is possible, and that as soon as you start working on it, the less impossible it becomes, because there's a lot of things that are actually happening now where we're getting more exposure and people are beginning to hear about the project.
Okay, and Megan, what's your feedback from school?
Okay, so actually we went to the school today and we presented it to them, and just like Ntando said, there are quite a few children who are skeptical about it. I've had some good feedback. This one guy actually told me that his uncle also built a sling. So also similar. It just took him much longer. And of course, it wasn't built by teens. So
And was it flown from Cape Town to Cairo?
no.
Okay.
So he really thinks he really wants to be part of it because he's done something similar.
Okay.
And then there are other children, and I think their limiting beliefs might come in here, and they don't think it's possible.
Yeah, I've seen it in my life as well. I mean, when we wrote a book, and I've been flying since the age of 15 as well, and I had the same kind of criticism where I went solo on my 17th birthday, and I was like one of the youngest pilots. I could fly anywhere in South Africa, but when I got there, I couldn't do anything because I couldn't hire a car. And people used to give me grief as well. But then I just would get them back. I would go low flying over the school when I used to bunk school and climb in the airplane and fly over the school. And the next day the teacher would say, "Desmond, was that you?" And then I'd say, "No, ma'am, it wasn't me." We used to come over the pavilion where the kids were sitting so low that they could see us in our school uniforms, so they knew it was us.
Yes, I don't know if I'm allowed to bunk school, but
We're definitely not allowed to bunk school and fly over the school.
Yeah,
Really
you
low.
might just hit the school.
Okay, so a question for Ntando. This whole project, just tell everybody how it's going to work, because I think it might be a little bit unclear as to how you're going to select the kids, and then what are you going to do with them after that, and what are the time frames and that type of stuff.
So in terms of selecting the kids, we're doing that now. We're going to the different schools. As Megan said, we just went to her school today. So we're going to take videos from these children, and they give us 2 to 3 minute videos about why they feel they should be part of the team and why they should join. And then we'll choose a few students out of those schools. And then at the end of the day, we'll have 20 students. So then during the late June and early July, the 3-week period, we're going to build the plane. So we're going to spend time on assembly. Well, before that, we do a bit of training with DTM. Thank you for that. And then we'll be able to build a plane at the hangar. I think it's the airplane factory as well, where we'll do that. And the kids will be able to build the plane, and we'll be able to test it out during the June, July period. Then in December, that's when we plan to take off, because we'll use the December holidays to fly from here to Cairo and back during that 4-week period as well.
Okay, so that's going to take you a month to fly from Cape Town to Cairo.
Yes.
How are you going to put up with Megan?
Well,
That is the most challenging part of this whole trip, is how am I going to put up with Megan?
well,
thank you.
Well, I think me and Megan, as we've proved, we are quite a good team. So I think I can handle her for a few weeks.
Can I give you a little bit of advice? Take some headphones with you with some very good classical music, because you're going to need it most of the time.
Well, I might need it to get over, the panic of being on a plane,
Flown by Megan.
Well, by
And both by 20 teenagers.
yes. Ding, something, just hear something's not right. But, I mean, I think Megan and I, we as I said before, we show that we're a good team. So I think we'll be able to fly from here. And, we might just, when we get to the locations, maybe I'll do a little bit of going to see the people and the tribes, and she'll be, trying to get rid of herself, baby. I might have to find I don't know how to say this, not a replacement, but someone who can tag along with me in case.
Okay, so we need a standby pilot. That's basically what you're talking about.
Yes.
Oh,
In case Megan jumps off the Victoria Falls and doesn't come back.
Or I get bitten by a snake from a tribesman or something like that.
Okay.
Oh, that will be a coincidence.
So a question for Megan, because from what I've heard, you are the adventurous one, and Ntando is the cultural, brainy one. So you the adventurous one, he's the brains. Is that how this whole thing works?
Yes, basically.
Okay. So a question from you: how are you going to put up with Ntando? And he uses all these big words that you're like, what are you talking about?
Yes, so we just spent a weekend together, a long weekend. It was so crazy. We spent like the whole weekend learning PPL, private pilot's license stuff, like everything. So this weekend was packed, and Ntando like kept fun, I'd say. Me singing about every word. I've got a song about it. So he's fine with that so far. So I think if he couldn't handle me, he would have chickened out
He
a
was like,
long time ago. And
I'm not sure
He's-
about that. I
he's-
only spent 3 days with him.
Yeah, which means you've got like 27 to go.
But I think I'll do fine.
yeah, I'm not that bad. So, what I've found in the short time knowing Ntando is he has the biggest general knowledge.
Yeah,
So-
I've noticed that as well. He comes up with these crazy words that I don't even know what he means.
Or,
And I'm like,
yes.
okay.
He just knows everything. If you talk about like any subject, he'll be like, "Oh, did you know?" And then he'd talk on for a whole hour about that thing. So
So it's very nice to have someone with that background, and then I think you two make a very, very good combination. Like
yes,
the other day, you were invited to TAF, which is the airplane factory
Yes.
with James Pittman and Andrew Pittman and Mike Blythe
and Sean Russell.
and Sean Russell, and they took you up in this airplane, and you did some unexpected aerobatics. You flew upside down, and
Yes, for a while.
how did that feel, Ntando? Because like you didn't think you were going to do that. You just thought, okay, we're going to go for a braai.
Yes, because when they told me I'm going to get on an aerobatic plane, I was like, maybe I'll do this, because I'm that type of person who, like, my mind goes wild. So I know, like, I might die or I might
Look
do
at all the
this or
risks.
all of these risks. But, I went on there, spent a couple of minutes upside down, where I feel like my eyes are going to fall out of my face. But, it was a great experience, because it just kind of shows that, fear can't bring you down. It can't always be there. It can't be there to stop you from doing what you meant to do.
And how did you feel about it?
So, I think, first of all, the combination of me and Ntando are really good, because Ntando would look and be like, yeah, Megan, you can die with this. I'll be like, oh, let's just do it and have fun and enjoy the moments and stuff. So Ntando looks at all the risks and see how risky it is and whatever. And then I'll just be like, yeah, let's do it.
So James, sorry to cut you off. What was it like flying with James? How did you feel flying with James?
Wow.
Very unsafe. Very, very unsafe.
Why?
Very unsafe. You never really fly with someone who will jump off the plane if something goes wrong. Like, you see, I don't have, first of all, I don't have a parachute. He's carrying the parachute. He has a parachute with him.
So to set the scene, we got into an extra 200, which is an aerobatic plane, and then James has got this thing on his back, and it almost looks like a backpack. And I was like, what is this? And he's like, oh, yeah, it might be quite rude, but this is a parachute, and sorry, we don't have two. So,
Yeah, and I heard him say, if something goes wrong, we're going to have to make some difficult choices here.
And
I think it's a difficult choice. He's going to pull the parachute, you not. Like,
Yeah.
wow.
yeah, and what's the point of two going down if just one can go down?
But I met James, and I think he's a phenomenal guy. I mean, he's
Yes.
absolutely crazy when it comes to adventure stuff, and he does all of this weird and wonderful thing. But I think he's a real nice guy.
He is.
And they've done a lot for you so far. I mean, half of this project is put together by TAF, which is brilliant.
Ntando, you were still saying about James.
Oh yes. So when I got on the plane, he's like, just keep cool, just be calm, and everything. And he always has this funny laugh. He's like, he's laughing there. I feel like these are my last days. I'm glad that
Last
my
moments.
mom's not looking at this, because I'm like, am I gonna make it home? He's just laughing and everything. He rolls the plane a couple of times. There my head is busy spinning, and he's just fine. He's even singing through the headphones, and he's just flying it and everything like that. It's like he's used to these things. I honestly feel like he's got more than one life, because no one does that much and lives to tell the tale unless there's something about them.
But I think that's what's so nice about this whole project is you've got people like that on board that are on your side. You're there to have a bit of fun, because what's the point of doing this? What's the point of flying from Cape Town to Cairo if you're not going to have fun? Why do it?
Yeah, so I think this whole thing is all about fun, and that is why I'm doing all the adventurous stuff, all the fun stuff. Like we might be doing, if the currencies are right, like the currencies right, the Devil's Pool, which is the currency pool right before the edge of the Victoria Falls. So right before all the water goes down the waterfall.
And there's no
is the
rope?
nothing.
That's just
It's-
like stupid, isn't it?
No, it's just you in your bikini swimming in a currency pool right before the Victoria Falls. So if you like fall over the edge, it's goodbye tickets.
Okay, but that's like the worst case. But what happens if you lose the bikini?
No,
Then then what? You're stuck in the pool now.
I
yeah,
think
and you can't come out.
no.
How? I think then you just go over the edge anyway because
I think it's better to lose your bikini than your life. Yeah, so yeah, that's going to be lots of fun. But then the Victoria Falls isn't the only place we're going to be doing. Like, I'm really excited for Zanzibar, and I might be diving because there's a thing that if you dive, you can't fly for 72 hours.
Yeah.
Yes, so I'm excited about that. And if the plans go right, so if everything is on time, we will spend Christmas in Cairo, which is Egypt. So that's lots of fun.
You better have a present for me.
So tell me quickly, when you're flying along and something goes ding, and you know that it's probably one of the teenagers didn't fasten one of the rivets properly. What's going to go through your mind?
Prayers.
No, I can't say that on radio.
So
Prayers.
swear words, prayers.
Prayers, like lots of prayers. Prayers.
Ooh, yeah.
Where's my will? You know, whatever I have, maybe leave my Xbox to someone.
But aren't you going to think, I should never have let them work on the tail part because that's the problem now.
But then, you can't, you really don't think those things.
No,
like
I think
that,
I think we just need to trust in these teens. I mean, there are so many teens that entering, and we only choosing the best 20 teenagers.
But also joking aside, we've got DTM, which is one of your sponsors, which is us, and we've got engineers, qualified engineers that are going to be supervising the whole thing. So it's not actually as bad as what it sounds.
Yeah,
but
so
the teenagers are going to be building the aircraft. They're going to be doing the physical work, and the engineers are going to check that everything's fine and airworthy.
So as I was saying that, yeah, the 20 teenagers, it might seem crazy, but we just need to trust in them. And also our sponsors, and then we also have engineers just checking up everything. So I'm believing, and I'm really hoping my very best that everything goes well, and I'm sure it will go well because we've got good aviation schools like DTM aboard this project, which really helps. So we're just quickly going into a quick ad break, and then, we'll tell you guys more.
You're listening to brandlive.co.za, an industry first in the world of internet radio. Not only are we an internet radio station, we are an internet radio platform for your brand. So why not expose your brand to potentially thousands of listeners and improve your customer relationships and brand equity with podcasts and live broadcasts? Be sure to check brandlive.co.za for more information. brandlive.co.za, harnessing the power of internet radio. Making a bold statement yet blending into the surrounding suburbs of Melville, 27 Boxes is a realization of edgy design and practical implementation. A radical departure from the shopping malls of our generation, yet not a return to the high streets of our youth. 27 Boxes showcases the best of a shopping centre set in a garden, surrounded by the bohemian suburb that is Melville. 27 Boxes, shop, play, eat.
Cool. So we are back from the break. So now the next question from Des would be,
Okay, so what are the average kind of lengths of legs that you're going to do? Because this is not a very fast airplane. It cruises at 220 kilometers now, which for an airplane is not very fast, and it's really, really light. So it can't do much, and that's what makes it really challenging flying from Cape Town to Cairo. Is it's like probably tinier than a car, and you can't fly very
Much
high,
tinier.
and you can only take a suitcase with about 10 kilograms of luggage. But what are the longest legs that you're going to be doing?
you see, the Sling has got great potential, and it's really a fantastic airplane. So the sling is the plane that we are building, and I think it was our best option. We looked at many different plane types and different like names and whatever, and sling was our best option. So we chose sling for a specific reason. So the longest legs we are going to do, like the average are about 7-8 hours of flying at once. So from Cape Town to Namibia, and then I think also from Ethiopia to Cairo is a long leg, and it's just desert all the way there, which is also really dangerous to fly. It's a very dangerous leg because if you crash there, then there's no way you're going to make it, because it's just miles and miles and miles of desert. There's no way that you will walk anywhere without dehydrating and dying, or either in the night freezing of cold. So
on a commercial airline, flying for 7-8 hours, it'll kind of take you to the top of Africa, around about there. But 7-8 hours on this thing is going to take you
to the neighboring country.
To the neighboring country. So, like, to put it in perspective, just further than Joburg, Cape Town. Cape Town's about 6 hours. So about 8 hours will be a little bit further than that.
Yes.
So, yeah, I've just got a little bit of a awkward question, especially for Megan, is how do you go to the toilet when you like there for 8 hours? What's going to happen?
Well, for me, I can hold it because I've been holding things like we've been traveling. For example, we can drive. We can drive from Joburg to PE.
Megan has left the studio. She's blushing.
We can drive from Joburg to PE for like 14 hours, and I never use the bathroom in that time period. So I think if it's 6-7 hours, I'll hold it till we get there because.
And what's your plan?
The thing about men, they've got like a long range tank. Okay, and I know we're not supposed to be talking really about this on radio. Thanks for bringing that one up. But yeah, so I don't know. Because it's a 4-seater, we are going to make a hole in the plane.
Like a toilet or just a.
No, like a small, a really, really small hole. And then we're maybe going to get a lady to a man converter type of thing.
Okay. We're going to have to work on this idea.
Just use a bottle. Just use a bottle.
No.
For you, that's fine.
For me, I can use a bottle.
No,
might have to have
but you're a guy. You're a guy.
Might have to have a big cap, but I'll use a bottle.
Okay.
I can just imagine some poor Kalahari bushman walking along, cup, and then comes this bottle full of.
Well, we'll drop it off. We'll drop it off at our next location. So,
okay, so you are working on the plan.
That's probably going to be the longest part of our project, figuring out how.
When James told me that they flew around the world, there was this one leg of 22 hours, and that was my first question of how do you go to the loop?
Okay, so we will consult them, and we will maybe speak to the 20 teens. Maybe they come up with a brilliant new invention of how we can solve this problem.
Yeah. Okay, so what my idea was in the back of the 4-seater, maybe making like a mini toilet with a curtain or something like that. But yeah, next topic, please.
Okay, so it's going to be a lot of fun, but it's also going to be a lot of hard work. So how many hours, how long your day is going to be when you actually build this aircraft? How many hours are you planning to put in? I'll ask Ntando this one.
So we'll have around 9 to 10 hour legs per day where we build the plane and make sure that all the parts are fitted and everything else. So we're also going to think about, shifting the students because 10 hours is a really long time. Mm-hmm. And, we need to be able to have the students to be able to do their stuff at peak performance so that they don't make mistakes or get tired too quickly. So we can shift them 5 hour, and then they're done for the day. But then us is the problem actually because we might not have that break.
But that's why you've got the people to help you, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think we also have learned longer concentration, and maybe we can take shorter breaks in between, but working both shifts, me and Ntando. So before we end off, we've got quote of the month, okay? So my quote of the month is a quote by Nelson Mandela, and he's really one of my best role models. I really look up to him. And he says that everything seems impossible until it's done. So this project might seem impossible to a lot of people, and then they'll be like, yeah, 20 teenagers building a plane and whatever. And I've just learned not to have people with limiting beliefs limit me, because that's their beliefs and not my beliefs. So everything might seem impossible now, but it's already happening.
That's very true. Like, I think it's Henry Ford. It says, if you believe you can and you believe you can't, both ways you're right.
Yes. And
Yes.
Tando, you will quit?
So for me, I think my quote would be to always keep focus. So always focus on what you want to get done, and spend 80% of your time on the 20% that will give you the most. So most people like to spend their time scattered. So they spend their time on social media, or they spend their time on things that don't give them back what they've put in. So always spend most of your time on the little that counts, because it's the little bits that count at the end of the day. And the attention is in the detail.
Okay,
Right.
so
Thanks very much, guys, for having DTM on the show. And my last words for you is just go for it and go and do it, because we believe that you can do it. We're happy that we can sponsor you, we can help you out, and just make it happen.
yeah,
Thank
thank
you
you
so
so
much.
much for coming, and thank you so much for all your help with the sponsors and organizing everything. I mean, and then thank you to all our other sponsors with all the things they do, and they might think it's a little thing, but it's really helping us. So
Yes.
thank you so much. I hope this time was inspirational to you guys listening, because this is a huge project and it is happening. So enjoy your month. Bye,
Enjoy
guys.
your month.
Bye.
Megan Werner is South Africa's
Werner.
dynamic young speaker who shows her skills in areas of assisting attendees to realize their potential through showing them what is possible if you believe in yourself and take charge of your destiny. No matter the age or size of her audience, from 5 to 5,000 people, Megan touches a chord with her honest outlook and natural frankness. She has spoken to corporate staff meetings to lift team morale. Trainers use Megan within their sessions to add another dimension to their presentations, and her talks take people out of their comfort zones and encourage them to look at the way they approach their lives and work relationships differently. Megan is often sponsored by corporates to speak at schools around the country as part of their CSI initiatives. Visit www.meganwerner.co.za now. You have been listening to The Megan Werner Show on brandlive.co.za. Catch her again on the first Tuesday of every month. www.meganwerner.co.za.